the desires of everyone, and they were full. Jai Prabhupada, Hare Krishna. Wow. That's heavy. '86. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Navallabha Girivardhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Janavallabha Girivardhari Yasodanandana Brajagana Ranjana Dana Brajagana Ranjana Yasodanandana Brajagana Ranjana Dana Brajagana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Brajagana Ranjana Jana Brajagana Ranjana Yasodanandana Brajagana Ranjana Brajagana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jabihare Radha Madhava Kunjabihare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabihare Madhava Kunjabihare Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Bhagavacharya Satarya Satyashishi Mad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Gauda Vaishnavinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Sikho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki ISKCON founder Srila Prabhupada Ki Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath Shamakun Radhakun Giri Govardhan Ki Vrindavan Dham Ki Mayapur Dham Ki Navadvip Dham Ki Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jamuna Mayi Ki Ganga Mayi Ki Tulsi Devi Ki Bhakta Devi Ki Shishi Radha Golokananda Ki Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Gora Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktarinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktarinda. So we're continuing our reading on the Chaitanya Charitamrita. We're in Madhya-lila, chapter 23, life's ultimate goal, love of Godhead. And we're on text 86. And this is the Raganuga platform Lord Chaitanya is discussing with Sanatana Goswami. So we just, we'll go back and looking at reading the qualities of Krishna and then Radharani. So we'll just read Krishna again. Above Narayan, Krishna has 4 specific transcendental qualities. His wonderful pastimes, an abundance of wonderful associates who are very dear to him, like the gopis, his wonderful beauty, and his wonderful vibrations of his flute. Lord Krishna is more exalted than an ordinary living beings and demigods like Lord Shiva. He is even more exalted than his personal expansion, Narayan. And all the Supreme Personality of Godhead has 64 transcendental qualities in full. So these descriptions have been given to, Narayan has so many, Shiva has so many, the Jivas have so many, but Krishna has in full these 64 qualities. 86. Similarly, Srimati Radharani has unlimited transcendental qualities, of which 25 are principal. Shri Krishna is controlled by these transcendental qualities of Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani's 25 chief transcendental qualities are: she is very sweet, she is always freshly youthful, her eyes are restless, she smiles brightly, she has beautiful, auspicious lines, she makes Krishna happy with her bodily aroma, she is very expert in singing, her speech is charming, she is very expert in joking and speaking pleasantly, she is very humble and meek, she is always full of mercy, she is cunning, she is expert in executing her duties, she is shy, she is always respectful, she is always calm, she is always grave, she is expert in enjoying life, she is situated at the topmost level of ecstatic love, she is a reservoir of loving affairs in Gokul, she is the most famous of submissive devotees, she is very affectionate to elderly people, she is very submissive to the love of her friends, she is the chief gopi, she always keeps Krishna under her control. In short, she possesses unlimited transcendental qualities, just as Lord Krishna does. This verse is found in the Ujjvala Nilmali, Sri Radha Prakarana 11 through 15. So she's non-different than Krishna. She's an expansion. They're considered to be non-different. Krishna has his expansions, Balaram, Narayan, all the Chakravyuha, all the incarnations of Vishnu. So Radharani has her expansions, and this is actually back in the 4th chapter of the Adi Lila about Lord Chaitanya, why he invented. And it says that her 3 categories are: 1, the gopis; 2, are the all the goddesses of Narayan, all the Lakshmi Devis. Those are all expansions of her. And the queens, the Krishna's principal queens, are all expansions of Radha. So those 3 categories. So as Krishna expands, she also expands, because these qualities she's always serving, supporting, and all these different roles. 92, the basis of all transcendental metals is the hero and the heroine. And Srimati Radharani and Lord Krishna, the son of Maharaj Nanda, are the best. So all these pastimes we see about Krishna they're always arranged in such a way that Krishna can be the hero. It gives him the opportunity to be the hero in all these situations, whether it's a demon attacking, dealing with Kaliya. There's unlimited opportunities for Krishna to step up and be the hero. And therefore, the chief heroine is Radharani. Just as Lord Krishna and Srimati Radharani are the object of the shelter of the mellow of conjugal love, respectively, so in the mellow of servitorship, Krishna, the son of Maharaj Nanda, is the object, and the servants like Chitraka, Rataka, and Patraka are the shelter. Similarly, in the transcendental mellow of friendship, Lord Krishna is the object, and the friends like Sridham, Sudam, Subal are the shelter. In the transcendental mellow of parental affection, Krishna is the object, Mother Yasoda and Maharaj Nanda are the shelter. Now hear about how the mellows appear and how they are realized by the devotees on different transcendental platforms. Because this is, again, Lord Chaitanya speaking to Sanatana Goswami. He's giving him all this information so that he can assimilate it, write it all down in the literature, share it, so that in the future, all the devotees can have a very clear understanding who Krishna is, who Radharani is, who all the devotees are, and all the relationships and the rasas. Okay, translation. For those who are completely washed of all material contamination by pure devotional service, who are always satisfied and brightly enlightened in the heart, who are always attached to understanding the transcendental meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam, who are always eager to associate with advanced devotees, whose happiness in the service of the lotus feet of Govinda is their very life, who always discharge the confidential activities of love. For such advanced devotees, who are by nature situated in bliss, the seed of love, rati, is expanded in the heart by previous and current reformatory processes. Thus, the mixture of ecstatic ingredients becomes tasty, and being within the perception of the devotee reaches the highest platform of wonder and deep bliss. These verses are found in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, second wave, first chapter, text 7 through 10. 99. The exchange between Krishna and the different devotees situated in different transcendental mellows is not to be experienced by non-devotees. Advanced devotees can understand and appreciate the different varieties of devotional service reciprocated with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Non-devotees cannot understand the exchange of transcendental mellows between the devotees and the Lord. In all respects, this is very difficult to understand. But one who has dedicated everything to the lotus feet of Krishna can taste the transcendental mellows. Purport: this verse is found in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, second wave, chapter 5, text 131. Of course, the author of the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is Rupa Goswami, and obviously we see that this information was shared between the two brothers. This information, they talked about Lord Chaitanya. They talked about, what did you hear when Lord Chaitanya spoke to you, right? Sanatana Goswami wanted to hear what Rupa Goswami heard when he was with the Lord for a month. And so similarly, these things go back and they share, and then they're put down in the literatures. Text 101. This is a brief description. And this brief description is an elaboration of the ultimate goal of life. Indeed, this is the fifth and ultimate goal, which is beyond the platform of liberation. It is called Krishna Prema Dan, the treasure of love for Krishna. Previously, I empowered your brother Rupa Goswami to understand these mellows. I did this while instructing him at the Dasavameda Ghat in Prayag. O Sanatan, you should broadcast the revealed scriptures on devotional service and excavate the lost places of pilgrimage in the district of Mathura. So this is the instruction. He took to heart. They're both instruction. It's kind of interesting because we'll read later when Sanatana Goswami goes to Vrindavan, he stops, at some place he stops, and he picks up a book on archaeology, how to excavate places. It's written here in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's kind of interesting because he got the instruction to excavate the lost places. And he must have seen a book about it somewhere to help him. It was important enough for Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami to add it into the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So he must have told him about it at one point. text 104. Establish devotional service to Lord Krishna and Radharani and Vrindavan. You should also compile bhakti scriptures and preach the bhakti cult from Vrindavan. Purport. Sanatana Goswami was enjoined, 1, to broadcast revealed scriptures on devotional service and establish the conclusions of devotional service. 2, to reestablish lost places of pilgrimage like Vrindavan and Radhakund. 3, to establish the Vrindavan method of temple worship and install deities in temples. In quotes, Sri Sanatana Goswami established the Madan Mohan temple. Rupa Goswami established the Govindaji temple. And 4, to enunciate behavior of a Vaishnav, in quotes, as Sri Sanatana Goswami did in the Hari Bhakti Vilas. In this way, Sanatana Goswami was empowered to establish the cult of Vaishnavism, as stated by Srinivasacharya in his Sad Goswami Astaka, number 2. This Hari Bhakti Vilas is basically the rules and that regulates devotees' actions and activities. Not just devotees, but it actually talks about how to build temples, how to select the property, how to find a guru, how to select one, how to, so all this information is contained in this. The Hari Bhakti Vilas. It's about 6 or 7 volumes. Okay. So Sad Goswami Astaka number 2, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis, namely Sri Sanatana Goswami, Srila Rupa Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. Thus they are honored all over the 3 worlds, and they are worth taking shelter of because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Radha and Krishna. This Krishna conscious movement continues the tradition of the 6 Goswamis, especially Sanatana Goswami and Srila Rupa Goswami. Serious students of this Krishna conscious movement must understand their great responsibility to preach the cult of Vrindavan, devotional service to the Lord all over the world. We now have a nice temple in Vrindavan, and serious students should take advantage of it. I am very hopeful that some of our students can take up this responsibility and render the best service to humanity by educating people in Krishna consciousness. So it's very nice. Prabhupada is encouraging that. So ISKCON is primarily what's called the Vaidhi platform. We preach in the introduction to Krishna consciousness. But we also preach the goal is to go from the Vaidhi platform to the Raganuga platform. But its primarily purpose is to get people started in Krishna consciousness. So the Prabhupada here is encouraging everybody to encourage everybody to continue in that mood, to spread the holy name everywhere, and try to help people in their diseased condition. Okay, 105. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then told Sanatana Goswami about proper renunciation according to a particular situation. And the Lord forbade dry renunciation and speculative knowledge in all respects. Purport. This is the technique of understanding Suska Vairagya and Yukta Vairagya. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, text 17, it is stated, he who is temperate in his habits of eating, sleeping, recreation, and work can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. So this is like being in the middle. Don't eat too much, don't eat too less, don't sleep too much, don't sleep too less, right? So moderation is where we should always kind of situate ourselves in everything, all our activities. To broadcast the cult of Krishna consciousness, one has to learn the responsibility of renunciation in terms of country, time, and candidate. A candidate for Krishna consciousness in the Western countries should be taught about the renunciation of material existence. But one would teach candidates from a country like India in a different way. The teacher, acharya, has to consider time, candidate, and country. He must avoid the principle of niyama graha. That is, he should not try to perform the impossible. What is impossible is what is possible in one country may not be possible in another. The acharya's duty is to accept the essence of devotional service. There may be a little change here and there as far as the yukta vairagya, proper renunciation, is concerned. Dry renunciation is forbidden by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we have to also learn this from the spiritual master. His Divine Grace, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Goswami Maharaj. The essence of devotional service must be taken into consideration and not the outward paraphernalia. So this is often a big debate, what should be modified according to time, place, and circumstances. But also we have to be careful about using this as an excuse just to change things. So it has to be done very considerate. And Prabhupada, a lot of in here is talking about all the things that he had to do to establish Krishna consciousness. And when he first, and there was some pushback, there was some give and take. So on 26 Second Avenue, after a while there, short while, he's decided to give initiations. And so in the initiation, he said everyone has to chant 64 rounds a day. And everybody was like, it's impossible. It's the way we can do that. So there was some pushback, right? So Prabhupada adjusted, 32 rounds a day, oh no, and he settled 16. That's the minimum. So this is what he had to do to try to establish it according to time, place, and circumstance. This is an example. So then later, as it developed, he was going to give second initiation. But he wasn't going to give it to women. And so Jadharani, she protested. This is not, and Govinda Dasi talks about, there's a YouTube video. Jadharani, it's got in one of her books, she talks about it. Govinda Dasi was there. She's got a YouTube video of Prabhupada's pastimes explaining all this. So when she protested, then Prabhupada, there was some pushback, then he adjusted things and gave her second initiation. But then give him Brahmin threads. So there's some, it's adjustments, like Prabhupada is talking here. So based on where you're at, what's the country, you have to modify things in order to get the people. Essence is just get people chanting, get them started to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. You got to, sometimes it's described as hook and crook. It's like a child. Sometimes you got to disguise medicine as candy. Get them to take the medicine because they know if they take the medicine, it's going to cure whatever's wrong with them. Knowingly or unknowingly, that medicine's going to help. Even if you don't believe in it, you take it unknowingly, so like I think it's candy, and then it helps. The Maha Mantra will cure all the diseases. At first we chant it offensively, Nam Aparad, everybody does, and we're still doing it to a certain, and then there's the clearing stage, where one then chants Namabas. It's considered the shadow chanting. And then it becomes Sudanam, pure chanting. It's like these Goswamis are chanting very purely. And in that pure chanting, then one can experience these rasas that we're discussing here. But that's on the Raganuga platform. Okay, we'll continue here. This is actually kind of important because helps out people. I mean, Lord Chaitanya was also, very. He said that you don't even need to have a guru. Just chant Hare Krishna. This is how liberal he would chant, just to get people started. Knowingly that if you just chant Hare Krishna and you start developing a taste and you start understanding, you start reading, once this taste comes, you're going to want to accelerate that process. You want to move along the process. And once you start accelerating, you're going to realize, how can I improve or make advancement? And then realize that accepting a spiritual master is accepting instructions from Vaishnavas is going to accelerate that process. So it's naturally going to happen. Okay. Okay, Sanatana Goswami. So that with just the whole thing with Prabhupada adjusting things, those are some and there's some other things. As the movement became more established, that was less and less. You didn't really see those in the early when he first came to the country and made adjustments for what he needed to do in this country. Of course, he said this. We mentioned Hari Bhakti Vilas. Prabhupada also later said that was primarily meant for India. That we in the West can't follow those scriptures. They're just too strict. Most people can't. Even people in India now can't follow the Hari Bhakti Vilas. But it's there. Okay, so Sanatana Goswami wrote his Vaishnava Smriti, Hari Bhakti Vilas, which was specifically meant for India. In those days, India was more or less following the principle of Smarta Vidi. Srila Sanatana Goswami had to keep pace with this, and his Hari Bhakti Vilas was compiled with this in mind. According to Smarta Brahmins, persons not born in a Brahmin family could not be elevated to the position of a Brahmin. Sanatana Goswami, however, says in the Hari Bhakti Vilas, chapter 2, text 12, that anyone can be elevated to the position of a Brahmin by the process of initiation. As bell metal is turned to gold when mixed with mercury in an alchemical process, so one who is properly trained, initiated by a bona fide spiritual master, immediately becomes a Brahmin. There is a difference between Smarta process and the Goswami process. According to the Smarta process, one cannot be accepted as a Brahmin unless he is born in a Brahmin family. According to the Goswami process, the Hari Bhakti Vilas and the Narada Pancharatra, anyone can be a Brahmin if he is properly initiated by a bona fide spiritual master. This is also the verdict of Sukadeva Goswami in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, chapter 4, text 18. Kirata hunadara pulyanda pulkasa abhira sumbra yavana kasandaya ye nechapapad yad aprasai yasraya sunyati tasmai prabhavisnave namaha. Kirtans, hunas, andres, pulindas, pulakasas, adhiras, sumbas, yavanas, and members of the kasa races, and even others who are addicted to sinful activity, can be purified by taking shelter of the devotees of the Lord. Due to his being the supreme power, I beg to offer my respectful obeisances unto him. And this is what Prabhupada came to America. I mean, it was just nothing but sinful, yavanas and malechas, practically almost 100% low-class people. A Vaishnava is immediately purified, provided he follows the rules and regulations of his bona fide spiritual master. It is not necessary that the rules and regulations followed in India be exactly the same as those in Europe, America, or other Western countries. Simply imitating without effect is called niyamagraha. Not following the regulator principles, but instead living extravagantly is also called niyamagraha. The word niyama means regulative principles, and the word agraha means eagerness. The word agraha means not to accept. We should not follow regulative principles without an effect, nor should we fail to accept regulative principles. What is required is a special technique according to country, time, and candidate. Without the sanction of the spiritual master, we should not try to imitate. This principle is recommended here. Suska Vairagya Jnana Saba Nisedhira. This is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's liberal demonstration of the bhakti cult. We should not introduce anything whimsically without the sanction of a bona fide spiritual master. In this connection, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur comments on these points by quoting two verses by Srila Rupa Goswami and Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. First Wave, Chapter 2, text 255 and 256. When one is not attached to anything, but at the same time accepts everything in relation to Krishna, one is rightly situated above possessiveness. On the other hand, one who rejects everything without knowledge of its relationship to Krishna is not as complete in his renunciation. To preach the bhakti cult, one should seriously consider these verses. So this yukta vairagya is a form of renunciation. A renunciation of something that you can use, but you're not attached to it. You have no personal attachment to it. That's the key thing. Some things we have, we share. You know, it's not renunciation. You know, we have a home. You know, we have some wealth or a car or our phone. You know, our phone is probably one of the, you know, it's the first. Most people, I think over 80% of people take it to bed with them at night, and it's the first thing they look at in the morning. But it's something you can use from Krishna consciousness, but it's not the primary function, you know. So yukta vairagya is something you're not attached to. It's like wealth, money. It's a good example. Prabhupada was not attached to money, even though he could use money to spread this movement. He could print books. It required certain resources and economic resources, and those books could be distributed, which had a huge benefit in the society and all over the world. So he economically, it's a good example how Prabhupada set that example. Personally, he didn't have, you know, he didn't build houses for himself. You know, devotees took care of him. Very nice. He would joke sometimes. You know, I write books, and they just give me a couple of chapatis. You know, he would talk to reporters. You know, and they feed me something every once in a while. You know, in his humorous way. You know, that none of it he was attached to. I mean, he probably could have stayed longer if he wanted to. I mean, if we see that some of these cult leaders, they just hang on and hang on. Prabhupada did his mission. He got it done. Extremely successful. Okay. Text 106 and 107. One who is not envious, but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think of himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is always satisfied, forgiving, and self-controlled, and who is engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence dedicated to me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. That's a very lofty position. That's a goal we endeavor to achieve. Purport. One should not be jealous of members of other castes or nations. It is not that only Indians or Brahmins can become Vaishnavas. Anyone can become a Vaishnav. Therefore, one should recognize that the bhakti cult must be spread all over the world. That is real Advaita. Moreover, the word Maitra, friendly, indicates that one who is able to preach the bhakti cult all over the world should be equally friendly to everyone. These two and the following 6 verses are spoken by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, text 13 through 20. So this is, and Prabhupada often dealt a lot about in India. He was preaching in India, and so his, some of these messages that we read and he put in there are for those people in the Indian body who have some predispositions to, in some other mode of worship, like we talked Sahajiyas. So a lot of his preaching was directed towards that, because he spent a lot of time preaching in India, and it's 10 years he started this movement. A lot of it was spent over there. So these, and he had to deal with the criticism. A lot of these responses are criticism that he had gotten from a number of different camps in India. So he fiercely defended ISKCON at all times, any criticism that came. He knew how important it was to the society at large, because there's nothing else out there that can come close to it right now. Okay. 108. He whom by no one is put into difficulty or anxiety, these are all Bhagavad Gita verses, and who is not disturbed by anyone, who is liberated from jubilation, anger, fear, and anxiety, is very dear to me. A devotee who is not dependent on others, but is dependent solely on me, who is clean inwardly and outwardly, who is expert, indifferent to material things, without cares and free from all pains, and who rejects all pious and impious activities, is very dear to me. Purport. The word anapeksa means that one should not be concerned with mundane people and should not depend on them. One should depend solely on the Supreme Personality of Godhead and be free from all material desires. One should also be clean within and without. To be outwardly clean, one should regularly bathe with soap and oil, and to be inwardly clean, one should always be absorbed in thoughts of Krishna. The words Sarva Brahma Parityagi indicate that one should not be interested in so-called smartavidi, or pious or impious activities. So this is some of the reasons why we need the spiritual master who's, and the devotees in a society we have, to kind of work our way through these types of what's proper, what's not improper. They're the guardrails that we have that Prabhupada established. Often simple, but sometimes we feel it's difficult because of our mind. We have to deal with that. 110. One who is free from all material jubilation, hatred, lamentation, and desire, who renounces both materially auspicious and materially inauspicious things, and who is devoted to me, is very dear to me. One who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equiposed in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from attachment of material things, and always grave and satisfied in all circumstances, who doesn't care for any residence, and who is always fixed in devotional service, such a person is very dear to me. So here again, moderation is the key. These extremists, even in politics, you got these extremist sides. It's best not to get involved and just stay in the middle. And that's where the shelter is. Don't go off on either side. Equiposed, Krishna is saying. Devotees who follow these imperishable religious principles of Krishna consciousness with faith and devotion, fully accepting me as the supreme goal, are very, very dear to me. I think we're about out. Anybody have any questions, any comments? We have another perf, but it's got a purport to it, so. That was the last Bhagavad Gita verse. I think we'll stop right there, text 114. I think it's time to greet the deities. Yeah, Purva. Do I have it? Yeah, I have it. I started reading. It's one of probably the only books I haven't read. It's depressing. All the rules and regulations. I've read some things. You know, if you want a particular understanding about a particular thing, you go there and read that particular object. But other than that, forget it, you know.
Adipurusham Kamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Kamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Kamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvandam Maravindanalaya Taksham Bharavatam Samasitam Buddhasundarangam Kandar Agom Vikamaniya Vishesha Shobha Govindam Adipurusham Kamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Kamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Kamaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakalen Priya Priti Manti Lasyan Vipan Vikayanti Jiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Kamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Kamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Kamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Kamaham Bhajami Govindam
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Vaskachade Satarine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Vaskachade Satarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Jivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Dada Jivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Jivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Jivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Shri Radhe Jaya Giri Govardhan 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev
Ananta Gauda Vaishnava. Namaskar, Srila Hari ISKCON. ISKCON, Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita. Gadadhar Srivasadi, Gaura. Founder Srila Prabhupada. Shri Radha Krishna, Go Gopinath. Shamatun Radhakun, Giri Govardhan Ki. Vrindavan Dham Ki. Mayapur Dham Ki. Navadvip Dham Ki. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki. Tulsi Devi ki, Bhakti Devi ki, Shri Shri Radha Golokananda ki, Samaveda Ratananda ki, Go, Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga.
Sundarim Kavitamba Jagadish Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmani Shvare Bhavatad Bhakti Rahetuki Tvai Ainandam Tanuja Kinkaram Patita Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddho Pripaya Pankajastita Varanam Karu Chandaraya Advangala Vijayura Kulagaya Jamba Bukadam Bhavamane Bhavishyati Yuga Yuta Cham Nimeshena Chakshusha Pradeshayitam Sunyayitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Vidahe Name Ashisha Vaparamana Mat pranasta susa evana pada. Victory to Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, repeated birth, and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction.
It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings. And thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names you've invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O my Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. My Lord, may my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name. When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs on my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord, unconditionally. Sri Shikshashtakam Ki Jai.
I'd like to thank Gopi for a beautiful dressing this morning on a cold wintry day with shades of spring in light yellow and white, so nice that spring's upon us. Also thank